I recently learned that my great grandparents were actually from like a part of China before they moved to Taiwan. So there's like some part of me that has like Chinese like genes and stuff. I've recently found out also that my grandpa, or maybe my great-great-grandparents were from China, but my grandpa grew up in the countryside of like Taiwan. Super chill, like lived in the mountains, had like 8 or 9 siblings, which is like kind of crazy at the time.
Also get this too.
I think after knowing that, I was like, that was like maybe like a couple months ago I found out about that. And my great grandpa like was working in the forest most of the time. So they never lived like in the city or whatever. And then I think when my grandpa was like getting older, they moved to like where they live now.
妈，你在做什么？哦，你在家吗？
During that time when he was younger, when he would go to school, because he would also have to learn like Japanese at the same time because of like imperialism. But I think learning that he grew up in this one part of Taiwan called Alishan. I remember going to the airport like right before like coming back to Washington, and they had like a bunch of like coffee beans from Alishan, which I was like, whoa, this is a thing. And I was like, I felt like this is like a piece of like my history in a way, like with my grandpa, even though like he lived there and maybe I don't know if what he did there really but I think just knowing that, I think this is like a new piece of information that I was like, whoa, this is really cool. And I also don't know that much about it. I think it makes me like knowing that's where my grandpa grew up. Like I didn't know where he grew up for like like basically my whole life. I thought he always grew up in like he always like lived in Hsinchu. Knowing that, it makes me like want to go, next time I go back, I like want to visit that area. To me, practicing Taiwanese culture is like thinking about the collective. My mom has always been like that, and also friends' parents. After church and stuff, they'd always like have food for us. I felt at home in some ways, just because the way people live is how I grew up living. When I think about Taiwan, I think about it in the context of like families. How can every person benefit